この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, happy Dungeon Day, everyone. I'm Teeaboo, and I am here for Dungeon Day. I don't care what day of the week it is there for you right now. It's Dungeon Day now. Welcome, welcome. I hope your adventures in the overworld of the crazy world dungeon we call Earth have been going moderately well. Mine have been going pretty well. I talked last week about how I was gearing up for a big finale combat situation for this big dungeon that I've been running as my player's first dungeon through this new campaign that we're doing, and also kind of the first dungeon that I've designed from the ground up. It's been an incredible experience, and I've learned a ton, and I've explored a ton of different cool ideas, and I'm a little bit like relieved that it's kind of a little bit over, and now we can kind of churn through some modules and some pre-written stuff, and I don't have to like grind my gears every second of every day to create a thing that'll be interesting and compelling and fun. But I learned a lot about creating dungeons and storytelling and interacting with my friends in a way that's different from the way that happens when you're just sort of reading what's there off of a pre-written module. And I had a ton of fun with it. So my own dungeoneering situation has been going great. My characters have emerged victorious and successful out of the weird armillary sphere combat situation, and have emerged out of the dungeon entirely bedecked in the heroic effects of legendary heroes that have been forgotten from 1,000 years ago, modeled after a lot of like key players in the early days of the tabletop RPG industry. So one of the core characters of the 1,000 years ago heroes is as the initials GG and is modeled very much after Gary. One of them has DA and is modeled very much after Dave Arneson. And there's Ed Greenwood is in there, and Janelle Jacquets are in there, and I'll probably fold a couple more in, because my honest intent, my goal and hope, is to take all the notes and all the drawings. I have dozens of pages of drawings of isometric views of different portions of this dungeon. Take all those notes and all those drawings and collaborate them together, and based on what actually flowed through and actually happened during our run through of the dungeon, I'm going to alter them and modify and tweak little things and draw it all out, hopefully with pens that it looks really good, and then scan it and publish it and make it freely available for other people who want to run it. That's my honest hope. I would love to be able to create content, to create materials that other people find useful for their own storytelling purposes, for their own fantasy worlds and stuff. So if that's something that would be exciting to you, let me know, because that like external pressure will help me get to it probably. It's kind of like a lot to try to turn my attention back to it and redraw all these drawings and stuff. So a little bit of pressure to make it happen would be really cool. And I'd love to find out if anybody has any interest in stuff like that. I think it would be really cool. That's what has been on my mind for the past week, with the exception of the content of Dungeon Meshi. My last week's schedule got a little bit screwed up, but Dungeon Meshi was not affected by that, so no worries there. Last time on Dungeon Meshi, we had two core chunks. One of them was the introduction of Asebi, who is a handful. We talk about herding cats, like herding a whole herd of cats. Asebi is a whole herd of cats that need to be herded all in one, which makes me come to understand, although I disagree pretty strongly with the implementation, understand why somebody like Maizuru might be at their wits' end and reach for a shock collar equivalent. In this case, a horrifying spirit monster spell that you put on them that tries to kill them when they leave your side? It's fucking crazy. You need to re-up it with a touch all over every once in a while, or an enormous ghoul monster comes out and tries to kill the creature? What is the relationship between Asebi and the rest of this party? Are they a battle slave? Like, what? What's going on there? Like, again, I get it. I get it. I get the feeling when you've got like a cat or a dog, and you need the cat to do something, and the cat will not do that thing. It's classic cat behavior, and you gotta experience some Buddhist detachment there. Like, the cat is not you, and you do not have control over the cat. but I can understand the temptation to reach for something that would just, like, make the cat do what I want. A magic spell that makes the cat do what I want or it dies. But what the fuck, man? That's not cool. That's not cool. That's some Johnny Mnemonic, your head's gonna explode bullshit. I don't like it. So maybe we can find a way to help Asebi out. For the moment, this stray cat is going to be strutting along with our party and taking a role that's very much like, I'm in charge here because I have claws. And I don't think that's going to really work, but we can't just throw the cat away and, like, get out of here, kitty. Shoo, because there's nowhere to shoo to. It's just a dangerous hellscape that they definitely wouldn't be able to escape on their own. We kind of gotta help her, and we kind of maybe actually gotta make her a party member for a longer term, which is crazy. I didn't think we would be getting more party members, even temporary ones. But we'll have to find out in the next episode of Dungeon Meshi what we actually end up doing with Asebi. There is another portion of the episode, though, and it felt important. There are a bunch of hints and things in it that I don't understand yet, but we have the pictures and facial features of a fatherly character carrying Marcial around, and we have the physical features and facial features of a motherly character who Marcial is shown weeping on the side of and gazing on in all sorts of different contexts. Marcial's mom looks very much like her, if that's actually her mom, so it might not be. We have no inclination that Marcial is a half-elf, but that's a dude who's a human, so she might be. I have no idea. There's a lot to process just in the background elements of the whole dream sequence, not even thinking about the whole core portion of the dream sequence. Marcial's subconscious is not doing well, or at least it wasn't before this episode. And I talked about it a couple times, hoping that we would do something about that. And we did. Very explicitly, we dove deep into Marcial's subconscious dreamscape, infested by nightmares, which it turns out are a mollusk. Infested by nightmares, she found herself pursued, a helpless child, hiding behind portraits of her mother. I thought at one point they were portraits of herself, but I think they're portraits of her mother. Running away, and all she can do is pile up all this knowledge, all these books, and run away from the inevitable thing that comes, not for her, but for everyone she knows and loves. It takes them away. And we see in the backdrops, in the paintings, her loss of a character that she seems to think of as her father. Whether he biologically is or not is kind of not that relevant here, because he dies. He's a mortal race compared to the long-lived elves. So she loses him, and that cements something early and deep in Marcial. I think that in a modern context, we'd call it, like, in the umbrella of, like, fear of loss or even abandonment anxiety, right? Things like that. It's somewhere in that realm, but it's very real. It's very real to Marcial. She's looking out over the course of centuries, and she knows that she's going to lose the people that she cares about. And again, there is a temptation from this, a temptation to change and control that which you are not supposed to be able to control. And now that we have it, it weaves in even further. Marcial loses Fallen, this important friend to her, and she goes on this journey without a second thought to go and save her. I wonder how much her loss aversion, her internal sense of, like, I have to fix this, otherwise everything is going to be gone, comes online in that moment. When Marcial wakes up in that field after getting teleported out of the battle with the red dragon, is she emotionally sitting next to her mother looking at her father's grave, having lost another companion, another friend, another close ally? I think maybe. I think it all folds together. And so, in the end, with Laios's urging that she can do this, and her saying, I can't do it, I don't have the power, she reaches out for something that she knows, or hopes, would give her that power? The book. The creepy winged book. And it looks at her in her dreams. She stares at power, and power stares right back. What does it all mean? What does it all mean? I don't know. We'll have to watch more Meshi to find out. It's very much in the space of the unspoken, and it remains there. We keep it there for the dreams. It stays within the realm of Marcial's mind, and we don't really converse about it up on the upper side. Once she's fixed the nightmare, the core pieces of that nightmare no longer matter. We see these dreamlike moments of her with a cute dog and the book, and she emerges out of it with like the resources that she needs, but the chapter closes on that dark space, and it's as though, having folded it away, it no longer matters. But it matters. It's informed our behavior up till now, and it still exists and lives on within her, maybe in a much smaller room, but that fear is still there, and it still drives her. It's just that now she's figured out a path, a goal, an opportunity, an item to focus on, and that item dispels the fear, at least for now. But if this whole thing is about trapping souls and keeping people alive, won't Marcille just be tempted to take the power of the book and do the exact same thing that Thistle is doing? Assuming that Thistle actually is the mage and all that jazz, right? Thistle lost somebody important and has used horrible magics to force this whole space to not die in order to maintain a tenuous hold on a connection to the person that he's lost. Marcille is right and ready to do the exact same thing, isn't she? That's like her core subconscious motivation is to make people she cares about not die. Whoa. Same. We could swap the heads, but the snake will still continue. The dungeon will go on exactly as it is. No? And then Laios might do the exact same thing too. He's got the same temptation, the same reason. So now we are in a pickle. And it's a pickle that might not be pickled for another couple of episodes, or maybe a dozen, or maybe 10 dozen, you know? But it's starting the process. It's fermenting. It's doing whatever pickles do. And we're going to be in quite a pickle when we get there. Okay. I think that is all my talking spiel for the beginning here. I want to do a drawing spiel. I'm gonna do a drawing. I've got an idea for one. It's pretty simple, but it's a play with light and texture that I'd really like to be able to do. And it's also related to an item in the dungeon that I just ran. So I kind of want to just like draw it to have it in my mind and play with some light and color and stuff. Okay, good. I want to keep this as simple as possible so that I only have small areas to work with for lighting and coloring it. It's a crystal. It's okay. It's all right. I think I probably could have done better if I had thought more seriously about where darkness is, and also if I'd tested my colors beforehand. I feel like probably this would look better if these sort of darker tones were deeper into the crystal and the lighter stuff was at lighter out of the crystal, but I'm not sure. I think there might be a way to infusion them better. Like if I left more white bits for accents, for like edge lines or cracks or stuff. Yeah, something like that. So at the very end of the dungeon that I just ran, the characters find an enormous black greatsword plunged into a map of their world, and eventually they go through some puzzles and manage to get to it. One of the characters pulls it out, and in his hand it pulls out, the darkness sloughs off of it and becomes a giant shining crystal greatsword. Then he's like, "Oh shit! I got an awesome sicko crystal greatsword," and then it shrinks down to being a little crystal like this big, still sharp, still just a sharp crystal that you could probably hold and use as a dagger, but like this big. And it's probably going to be the most important item in the campaign because it was used to pin a creature of great evil down for 1,000 years. But, that's over. So my characters are in possession of a weird crystal thing, and now I have a drawing of it that's not exactly what I want it to look like, but it's a start. We'll call that a start. Everybody, everybody, let's get into it. Get stupid. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. I've got episode 20 of Dungeon Meshi up and ready to go. We're going to watch it just as we have been doing before. I'm hoping to find out interesting things about Akebi. I'm hoping for any external progression on what happened internally in Marcial's mind, but I'm not expecting that we'll get any. And if we just do a cool meet a monster, kill a monster, eat a monster, I'm going to be happy with that too. So let's watch Dungeon Meshi and see what's going on with my lighting. There's something, my overhead light's on. Okay, yeah, that's way better. I like having the overhead light on. It's nice. It like illuminates my hair and creates like a distinction between me and the background, but it creates too much light also. Let's watch episode 20. Beep beep timer. Oh, sorry about that. Oh! A full party member indeed! You gotta be kidding me! Sebi's a party member! Wow, that's so cute! Holy shit! Oh! Oh, shit. Whoa. That's the door. That's the book. Oh. Hi. Hi. Whoa. Whoa. Oh. Wait, somebody's been here? That means somebody's been here. Oh. Oh. What about the gold? The treasure? The loot? All our food is gone? Hmm. Or hungry people? Don't get sick, Marcel. Yeah, illness would be really bad down here. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. Yeah, thief knows a thief. Hmm. Hmm. I feel you, dude. Gonna say something real mean. Oh? Friends! It's a big snowball. Oh, carpaccio. Carpaccio. Sushi. It's been pre-flash frozen. Oh, he's growing. They're not hallucinations, though. That's really cool. That's that connected ecology stuff. There might be something crazy in there, though. Oh, she's so cute with her little cold cheeks. Oh. Oh shit, there is something crazy in there. Is it an ice golem? Oh, it's an ice golem. The homies. Senshi! Senshi, you fucking what? Oh shit. Ow! Hi, Asebi. What do you got? Speed. It's probably frozen in the ice. Oh wow, good job, Asebi. Asebi is proving their usefulness. That's what this is for. Ah, shit. They're working together. They're working together. They don't trust each other, but they're forced to work together. Ah, the instant dodges. That's very fun. Oh, shit. Ah, shit. What you got, Chill Chuck? Fuck. A full acrobat. You got it. Make the shot, Chill. Oh, fuck. What? Oh? Oh, did he mark the spot? Uh, I can just point stuff out. It sucks, but it's way better than not knowing what he can do. All right, we're gonna get a dope ass Shadow of the Colossus style bullshit. What the fuck? Okay, I said he's a great addition. We didn't have a Dex fighter. You know, we had Childrek, but he's not a combatant. We now have an assassin Dex acrobat situation. Acrobat was an old class, wasn't it? I always thought it was kind of dumb. Uh-huh. Cute. Also getting sick? Yeah, we better take care of everybody. Oh, is everybody sick? Or are they just frostbitten, just cold? A lot of scars I'm expecting. Oh, fur. fur. Cute. I think you are incorrect about that. You do not understand the internet. Ah! Never mind, I didn't even realize. Of course it would be Laios' interest. Uh-oh. Okay. I was thinking of a dripping mouth because of the dragon. Fishies. 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 Oh. Oh. That could be nice. That's very fun. Why did he say, why am I the only one? Okay. Oh, what are we making? Soup? Uh, not quiches. Fluffy, puffy. I don't know. Or is it? Oh. We wait for everyone. Hold your spoon properly. Wait for everybody to eat. No elbows on the table. That's not how it works. Awesome. Savory egg custard. I see. Cute hair. this little sauna hangout. It's an adventurer's bag. Oh, the little shark. Ah! It's just the way I am. Sorry, but he's apologizing though. She's like buried in it. You have been accepted. Aww. Aww. Doesn't want to be part of it, but a little bit is part of it. Amazing. So angry. Yeah. Better have a quick release function to dodge monsters. Candied mandrakes? Yeah, Marcial's not into it. It's a plant. Oh. Pushy. Oh, that makes sense. No, it isn't. No, that's a cat. That just is a cat. Now that's a cat owner. Oh. Oh, they have cooties. Yeah. You are what you eat. That's very true. It's a big root for a lot of our weird purity feelings. Yeah, in the before time. Hi, Tade. Just give it to Tade and it's fine. I should start trying to call her Izutsumi. Ooh, it blizzing. It sure is blizzing. Team cooking. Ah. We eat monsters, dude. This is what you've signed up for. This is life, dude. No! Vibes. Oh, what? Huh? Yeah, it wrecks his argument, but it's just a weird thing. I've seen through your lies! Oh, shit. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. There's a monster in there. Wait, chill. What? What? Wait, what happened to her staff? Huh. Huh. Yeah. Oh my god, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me so much of Toph joining the party in Avatar. It's just what you were capable of doing. Fire. Shit. Not communicating what she knows. Hmm. Hmm. Ah. You're leaving Marcille! Izutsumi! Not a team player. I may have made a mistake. Oh, something in the past. Mmm. A stray cat indeed, but mistreated because of it. Something about wanting to support other people. Be friends! Now you're stuck. And the question is, nobody's gonna come for you. Not in your mind, right? You're dead. Nobody's gonna help you. Blinding flash. Marcial still came after her. Instant comeuppance, huh? I'd love to hear this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But survival. This is brilliant. This is brilliantly put together. You've got a goal. You're not going to make it to him without food. Not just shortcuts, but just the right way. Just like with Shuro and Laios, and like you're not taking this seriously. If you're taking it seriously, then these little things don't matter. Thanks. Thanks, buddy. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do. Is it a sheep inside? What the fuck? It bleeds. Ugh. I gotta look it up. Those just look like piece of lamb. We're doing lamb with wine. How much wine does Senshi have? Huh? Is it tomato? Ooh. Oh, yummy. I bet it's delicious, though. Fucking awesome, right? What? Yeah. Oh, what did she say? The little stars. Okay. So this place takes in young people who don't have other options and then trains them? A direct mirror to Marcial's words. That's why. That's why. Maybe snacks are worth it. Yeah, maybe the snacks are worth it. They win. They win! Yeah. Ah! Uh, uh. because it's horrifying. Yeah, yeah. Completely blocked off. Dungeon Meshi. Ah, Dungeon Meshi. This was so fun. I think we got all the pieces that I wanted, like external Marcel stuff that ties in a way that I didn't expect, with it tying into the door and like her talking about the magic and what she's going for now and how she's justifying things. It's like out of the context that I expected, but it works. It works. And then a strong focus on Izutsumi becoming a part of the party, which is a party member. I can't wait to meet those elves. I assume that'll be the last thing in the episode. Oh, there's the Zibby. Okay, first things first. I love that Izutsumi is woven into all the stuff. It's like I I I've always wondered why more shows don't do this a lot more. Is build little things, redo little scenes in their OPs. It seems like a lot of shows just think of the OP as a thing that's one and done. But as somebody who doesn't skip the OPs when I'm watching the shows for the channel, I watch through the OPs every time. I watch through the OP and NED every time. And having little Easter eggs or hidden things that change and progress along with the development of the story makes it awesome. It makes it like not like a loot box, but it makes it like something that I've got to pay attention to. That's cool. It keeps it alive. I think that a thing, an OP has this big womp of import in the first time that you watch it, and then often I'll notice interesting things over the next couple of watches, and I'll get different vibes from it, and I'll pay more attention to the lyrics and stuff. But after 5 or 6 goes through a particular opening, it you've seen it, you've seen everything that it has to offer, and so your brain can kind of turn off during it. If things are going to be changing in it, your brain can't turn off. You gotta pay attention. You gotta be invested. You gotta be in a conversation with the show. And I really like that it changes to include Izutsumi. It also serves a narrative purpose. It lets us know that this character isn't temporary, or at least like not short-term temporary. If they put the effort to put her into the OP, then Izutsumi is going to be along with us for the ride. And that's awesome, especially coming at the beginning of an episode where we sort of figure that out, where we actually get to the nitty-gritty of it and almost lose that connection and then figure it out. Oh boy, what a cool one. What a cool what a cool thing to integrate Izutsumi into the OP and ED. This sort of secret fifth party member. Awesome. Really cool. And then the episode itself is chock full of goodness. It's chock full of goodness. It's structurally about the team. We get to focus in and kind of re it's not a rehash exactly, but a recentering of who the team is and what they're all doing, because we didn't really get the chance to do that after the loss of the dragon. We were kind of in like instant mourning, and then there was crazy shit with orcs, and then we ran into the other party and were like in conflict with the other party and fighting for our lives during the whole thing. Like, we haven't had time to just sort of chill and think about stuff, and we haven't had time to reaffirm what it means to be a team, to like focus in on that and rebuild those elements. There've been little bits of it, like Laios inside Marcial's memory is deep and connecting between the two of them. But here in this episode, there's a lot of focus on like individual motivation spilling out and becoming a part of group motivation, and group motivation spiraling in and pushing forward the individual motivation. It's like demonstrating that the team itself is a piece of the ecosystem almost. It's like a thing that you have to interact with. And Izutsumi is the perfect way to force us to go over things that we would otherwise keep implicit, right? There are a lot of like social norms and ways of doing things that we don't talk to each other about. We just do them and they're our normal. But when you have a character that hasn't experienced that normal and doesn't have it wired into them, you have to kind of keep them up to par and also convince them that your normal is worthwhile. And it might not be. In plenty of cases, it genuinely might not be worthwhile, right? It might just be your cultural like steepage. You've been soaked in this culture and you've been doing this thing that's been working for so long that you think that the rules of your unit expand to everybody else, right? But they don't. You know, in our world, that's like the rules of your family unit that you grew up in. There are probably at least three super weird rules that your family has that you all do, that you've totally normalized, that you've done for your entire lives because your parents did them for their entire lives, and they're like weird traditions that are kind of passed down, right? Whatever those things are, whether like certain where do the towels go, or how do dishes get done, or something that your family does, right? And an adventuring party is kind of like that. We're this adventuring party. We do things as our family unit. And it's taken like 30 episodes to sort of, no, we're on, no, it's taken us 20 episodes to normalize to all of these things that we do, eating the monsters, splitting different tasks, like telling people to go and do different things, and being okay with taking orders or requests from each other. The whole dynamic is all implicit now. It's all been settled. But Izutsumi doesn't have any clause in that. She has no hooks into it. She has no reason to follow any of it, and isn't even going to recognize any of it as normal. It's all going to be weird. So if Izutsumi is to integrate into the party, we gotta figure out that gap. We gotta bridge it in some way. And that's what we do over the course of this episode. It's really cool. I really like that we do this really powerful demonstration of Izutsumi's capability, and then that feeds into this feeling inside Izutsumi that they deserve more, that they're more powerful and more capable than everybody else. It's very zero sum. It's very like, if I win, you lose. If you win, I lose. We can't win together. It doesn't work that way. Until you internalize the piece that Tade said, right? Because Tade's lines are, they belie an importance. They're simple. I just want to be helpful to everybody, right? And we can discount that as like, oh, you're a Genki girl, Maho Shoujo magical girl who just wants to be a really cute, good girl and be good to everybody. Yay! That's some bullshit, right? Like, neat. That's cool for a fictional character, fine. But that's some bullshit. Like, that might actually be your internal motivation, but it's going to clash with all sorts of other internal motivations. But what Tade says afterward is what makes it important to me, and what makes it fold into Dungeon Meshi so perfectly. I want to be good, I want to help everybody, is this surface layer motivation. And one step below that is I get yummy snacks out of it, actually. Why does that matter? Why does that matter? It matters. It matters so much. If you are pragmatic and utilitarian, you are not going to be convinced by Senshi's sort of ephemeral understanding that things come back around in the long term, that like the plant that you sow the seeds of today will feed you in a decade. Like, that level of incorporation into an ecosystem is not gonna be matching up. But direct rewards for direct action, that's going to match up. I get yummy snacks because I do nice things for people. That's how you bridge the gap. It's how you bridge the gap, because there's a gap between I do nice things for people because I want to, and because my wanting to is attached to knowing that I'm fulfilling a role in my ecosystem and everything is going to be slightly better because I do nice things for people, right? We're not there yet. We're at, I'm not going to do nice things for people. That's hard and uncomfortable, and I don't like doing that, and I don't get anything out of it. And the way that we make that a little easier to stomach is we give you a lollipop at the end of it. And this is a trick that works, that you can use to work on yourself. You can use it to work on yourself. It's in Atomic Habits, it's called, it's kind of like habit stacking. In this case, it's just self-rewarding, but it fits into the ideas that that Clear presents in Atomic Habits for habit stacking. The idea that I'm putting is like, so there's a thing that I really like to do. Let's say it's playing a video game. And there's a thing that I don't really like to do. Let's say it's doing exercise. Okay? I don't want to do the exercise. I want to play the video game. How do I change this? I give myself the video game. I give it to myself as a reward for doing the exercise. Now they're now they're attached. And if I have the self-control to actually attach them and to actually not play the video game unless I've done the exercise, I will attach inside my brain doing the exercise with getting that reward. And in the long term, my internal real goal is to do the exercise and be a healthy person and have a better life and feel fulfilled and live longer and be able to pick up my grandchild out of their crib when I'm 80 or whatever, right? Those are my long-term goals. But my nervous system isn't going to actually do those because they're fucking long-term. They're far away. They're not a yummy snack. I want a yummy snack. I want shiny lights. I want video games. I want yummy. I want dopamine. I want it now. I want it immediately. I want it right fucking now. And I don't want to do the exercise. But if I have to do the exercise in order to get to the dopamine, I'll do the exercise. And if I do that for roughly 30 days or so, I'll do the exercise because it gives me dopamine now. Because my brain is wired that I get good things after I do the thing. Okay. So how do you become a better person? I don't know. Maybe in a case like Izutsumi's where you're not really interested in being a better person. You're interested mostly in yummy snacks. You could slow roll in that direction if you end up in an environment that rewards you like externally for doing the things that really matter. Even if you don't think they really matter, you still get a reward for them. You'll still be conditioned and learn to do the thing. So that's really cool. That's really neat and really silly. Let's go through the episode. I like this one. I like this one a lot. I don't know why it stands out to me so much, but it really stands out against the others. It's just so much fun. We start immediately with the getting stuck and it's Izutsumi who's upsetting the flow of the party, right? She is not used to this. Ooh, this is where we fought the red dragon. It's immediately ominous, immediately really interesting. The characters look really cute in this environment with the blushiness, and eventually once they all get sauna and they've got like the red glow going. We are let know about an interesting, obviously magical door. We came to sketch the design, but then we were attacked by the dragon. What an image of the dragon in darkness. Can we just say, I'm going to call these Wakame shadows. I'm not sure if they actually classify as Wakame shadows, but I'm going to call them Wakame shadows. It's what it looks like to me. Holy shit, what a beast. That's awesome. I also like this image. Izutsumi just standing apart from everybody else. Here's our party, and also our +1. Not a party member yet. The OP might call her a party member, but not yet. And staying off to the side, not engaged with stuff unless something benefits her, like the coin that she steals. Yes! My gear! My stuff! All our food is gone, but everything else is untouched. And then she starts sneezing, we get a little bit spooked, hide away a coin, and Chilchuck is right on her. And this sort of bubbles into the conflict between them. She's racist against half-foots, but also kind of just responding to his enmity, you know? With more teeth and claws. Talk about an untrained beast, man. No wonder it's really insensitive from Chilchuck, like really not great. He does have a sharp tongue, and it cuts people, and they cut back. But he does also apologize for it and realizes it later. Also, in the whole scene, we're setting up the bow. It's great. Ah, you're a half-foot, right? I hear a whole bunch of your people get feet cut off for stealing. Grrr. Then we get interrupted by fishy time. I thought it was gonna be carpaccio. I thought, because you can take flash frozen fish because the parasites are dead, and you can just slice it up and eat it eat it raw. It's a different kind of sushi, but no. I love the description of pouring water into the channels that you've created for your magic circle. I think it's really nice. I'm intrigued by what's going on in Laios' internal world. It continues building, but we haven't had time to like really focus down in on it because we've been dealing with all sorts of external situations. I love that it's connected to the upper layers, that it's the same kind of fish. And that's how a golem thingy talisman managed to get down here too. Absolutely crazy. And what a beast! He's a cutie. He's a cutie. He's a real cutie. Thunk. Huh. Whoops. Whoops. Rarg. Rarg. And also a really cool encounter with this environmental hazard of the stalactites falling and the golem being a big golem. It's scary. I've got to steal that. You can easily steal it for a not ice golem and just make it like rocks and rubble fall. These little smears on his eyes are kind of cute. He's really a cutie. I think he's so cute. And then we get to see Izutsumi's real power. These acrobatic feats and stunts are awesome, and there's something to the way that the animation is done that makes the golem feel big and loomy, and then we keep doing these things where Izutsumi should have been hit by something and then is somewhere else. Weirdly, this is a little strange, reminds me of how another cat girl in a totally different series fights. Blake in Ruby. I've been watching Ruby recently with my partner. We're watching through the first seasons of it. It's kind of fun. Because it's like a big nostalgia bomb for me. Blake, the cat girl in Ruby, her like inherent power or semblance is the ability to put duplicates of herself places. They're called like mirages or shimmers or something like that. But anyway, like in a bunch of the fights, a character will strike and fully hit Blake, and then that will just disappear, and she'll appear somewhere else because it's just an illusion. This reminds me of that, even though there's no illusion going on. It's just Asebi moves so fast that they're almost like leaving behind places where the enemy is attacking, and we're like, oh no, Asebi got hit. No, they didn't. They're out of here. I think this is an immediate example. Boom. But it's just a casual grace with which she deals with the monster fighting her, you know? It's like dancing around, no problem. It's really cool, and it gives us a couple of moments like this one that are just pure badassery. That's like, damn, I'm behind Izutsumi. I like this. This is cool. Where is it? Just jumping around, bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. Keep it distracted. Buy me some time. And they have to work together. That jerk better not be making stuff to bring me down. That's an amazing thought that Izutsumi has about this. Like, what a crazy idea. This jerk is just trying to get me hurt. Right? Like, that would even enter your mind is crazy, because that puts him in a worse situation. It puts all of them in a worse situation. But in Izutsumi's, like, trustless mind, that makes perfect sense. Everybody's out to get everybody. Maybe she doesn't need to understand what he might gain from that. What she needs to understand is that she might lose. And it's that sort of hair trigger to anything that might harm you, to anyone who might have enmity towards you, might have ill intent towards you. That hair trigger of like on guard all the time, no trust. Oh. Spend a bunch of time spiraling through the air, and then we unfortunately get stuck in the snow and bonked around. It gets confused for a bit, but then bashes as soon as she emerges. Good job, well done! And he dinks it, and that's enough. All he needs is one little dink. Huh? Oh well, it's my turn. We get to see some badassery from Izutsumi here. I really like the way that this portion, once we actually have a solid object in the frame, and how she sort of drifts to it. It's dope. Nails it. It explodes. Victory. And now we can have some fish. Fish! And some nudity. Fish! Nobody would want to look at a beast, man. I'm sorry. There's a whole subculture, guy. Yeah. Yeah. Some people would absolutely be excited. And also, Laios is a dork and he loves monsters. So yeah, that's a problem. Gotta protect her from that. And we keep him blindfolded for like the whole time. Sauna, food. It's nice. It's nice. It's fun. This converts into like a classic Dungeon Meshi food eating experience, which is exactly what we need in order to bring Izutsumi in. But it also generates a new conflict, which is that like I don't really want to eat weird monsters. This first portion is fine because there's fish, and fish is fish is fish is fish, and Kitty Cat's gonna eat fish no matter what. Does not matter. But it proves the first portion of the conflict, which is that Izutsumi essentially has no manners. Yeah, has not been entrained with manners. Nobody trained her, or if they tried, they did so in a way where it's like, do this the way that I say, or else. In which case, Izutsumi's gonna be like, fuck you, I'm gonna go eat in the corner. Right? Like, fuck you, I'm not gonna use a spoon because you told me to, because you made me. I'm not gonna do that. That's dumb. Why would I do something that somebody else told me to do that I don't want to do? I don't want to do that. I'm going to live my own life my own way. There's no reason for me not to. And since she's like, you can't just start eating on your own, which on the surface is another one of those things that's like, why not? Why not? That's dumb. These are dumb rules that don't make sense for your dumb family, and I'm not a part of your family, so I'm not going to follow those rules. But they're glue. They're glue. They're critical for keeping the team feeling like a team. Wait until everyone is at the table. Why not? I took down the enemy. I deserve to eat first. And Marcel is a little bit surprised by this too, right? Like, this is not how we act. But when somebody acts out of, this is not how we act, you don't necessarily have well-constructed logical justifications that you can bring to bear to be like, no, we do this because it actually meaningfully improves the dynamic of the party, and we're all gonna die if we don't have trust in each other. But you don't have that logicked out necessarily. If somebody challenges the way that you've always done things in your family, 99% of the time what human beings do is get into a fight about it. Right? It can be a dumb little thing. It could be like peeling your bananas from the bottom or the top, and somebody else goes, "Oh, actually bananas are better peeled from the bottom." And you go, "Fuck you, asshole. Think you know better than me, bitch." Never gonna talk to you again. Stupid banana talking bitch. Where did that come from? We're really defensive about our traditions. So, Senshi is really good at this. He's really good at taking it slow and pulling it back and not being angry about these things that he thinks are really important. And that serves as like a really strong wall in the way I mentioned it last time, but in the way that like good parenting books and good parenting instruction from people who understand child behavioral development looks. The child is like freaking out because they got strawberry jelly instead of blueberry jelly. They're freaking the fuck out. It's like, we don't freak out because we didn't get that jelly. You get the jelly that you get, and maybe next time you can ask me for the jelly that you want, and we'll be fine. Everything will be okay. But the presence of mind and the control over self to go into that very simple, very straightforward, I am not getting emotionally unsettled by the fact that you're emotionally unsettled about this. I can hold that emotion and I can hold my emotional state while you're freaking out, and I'll be a rock for you to bounce off of, but I'm going to be very solid. I'm not going to bend on it either. And I'm going to be like, nope, the way things are is that meals begin when everybody is present. This is how it is. And I'm not upset because you're upset. And I'm not upset that you want to do the thing. I'm just going to hold to the rule. And that's our dynamic, is that I hold to the rule and you follow the rule. And Izutsumi can scramble and scream as much as she wants about that. But it's very simply put out there. And if you want to extend this further in a party like this, it's like, meals begin when everybody's present. If you don't eat with everybody else, you don't eat. And if you want to break out of that, you're going to have to steal food from our party stores. And that's not going to be a good look. And we'll have some real enmity. So let's not go that route. If you want to eat the food with us, you eat with everybody else. Something like that. It's really interesting. And you want that even gets close to the line of being threatening. being more threatening than I would want such a conversation to be. So what Senshi actually ends up doing is really simple. And then I love this moment when he asks Chilchuck to do something and Chilchuck does it without a second thought, without regard. The team is all working together. This is a dynamic that's established, but Izutsumi's not a part of it. Not yet. Ah, yummy. Super yummy. I bet that's delicious. Everybody looks so cute in their little towels and their blushy skin. They probably feel so good. Oh, sorry, Marcial, but it's Senshi. Chilchuck brings her a bag. Whose bag? It doesn't even matter. Ah, it's like an official party member seal of approval, which is crazy because of the conflict that they had. But it's also a way for him to apologize in a pragmatic way. But it's the expressions that Izutsumi makes over the course of this that make it obvious to me how like incredibly well this has landed. The first is like huh? What? I patched up a torn bag. You can use it. And there's this like totally taken off guard. Okay, so I could see a manga like cut-in panel that goes, "This was the first time anybody had ever given anything to Izutsumi in her entire life." Like, right? Like that's what this looks like to me is like, what? What? Almost to the extent of like, okay, what's the trick? Like, where's the trap? Is it gonna explode? Are you trying to make fun of me? Uh, uh, are is this a stupid bag? Is this last year's fashion and everybody's gonna know that I'm not up with the times and I can't afford this year's fashions? Like, what is this, Chilchuck? To take it clearly, like, as what he says it is almost impossible. But then he apologizes. And sincerely, and in the way where the apology actually recognizes exactly what he did and said and a character trait of his own that he then owns up to and takes accountability for. I have a sharp tongue, and traveling together is really suffocating and annoying. But once you get used to it, there are perks. You can get others to handle stuff that you can't. And the whole time, it's just this little, just like completely holding the bundle, face like buried into the sleeping bag of it, eyes wide, almost like, this is mine? Really? Awesome. So she's watching everybody eating and helping each other. And says Deshta. Deshta. I guess I'll make an effort to like try to be a part of the thing, I guess. Ah! Oh, my little heart. Little heart, Izutsumi, you gotta be kidding, come on. All right, prepping and prepping and prepping and perfect. The angry face. Honestly, looks exactly like when you put a cat in a harness. If you've ever seen or done that, they do not like it mostly. Some of them are fine. Some cats are fucking weird. Most most just will like lay down and be like, no, no, I don't like this. I don't like it. They're hard to move in. We get the mandrake spoiled sweet. Laios is down, but no, I don't want it. No, have a bite. No. Slash. And we find out that she's got a misunderstanding of monsters. Well, what is this called? I gotta look this up. Yeah, I remembered some stuff. I wasn't able to find anything really specific, but I remembered that there's some interesting research on disgust responses to particular food types and how those are woven like culturally and religiously into certain things. So in this case, it's like a rumor or a belief, like not a tradition exactly, but like a belief that eating monsters will turn you into a monster, sort of founded in you are what you eat type of thinking. It reminds me of the sort of unclean or impure ways that some religious groups view like pork or particular other foods and the disgust toward that. And then there's also like in our modern societies and historical societies, there's an us versus them cultural element where like certain foods, the foods of the lower classes are considered bad and unhealthy, and the rich foods of the upper classes are good and healthy. And that creates like class divides and stuff, which isn't super relevant here, but it's in the same vein. This separates Izutsumi from the whole party because of her unwillingness to engage with eating monsters, and that becomes our real conflict as we move forward. And it doesn't really matter if there's logic behind it. If you have an internal disgust response that's either like been entrained into you or just emerges because you don't like a particular food, which happens, then that logic around it of like that actually doesn't happen. You're not going to turn into a monster might not land at all. So this ends up being a really interesting and difficult conflict because for all our potential working together as a party, if Izutsumi can't eat the food, we're not going to survive very long as a team. You catch strange diseases and turn into one. Well, it's not exactly logical, but I think most people avoid them for that reason. It feels like you're absorbing something bad in some way. And I wonder if you are. There's some weird magic in this dungeon, man. I wouldn't put it past the dungeon. I don't think vague aversion should be brushed off so lightly. Yeah, 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 I agree. I do agree. I think that if you can sort of palate cleanse away the attachments that our modern food system gives you to sugar and salt and fat and like very hyper palatable foods, if you can spend some time eating simple, really simple foods and fresh foods, then I think that our palates are pretty well constructed to help us find foods that are like good for us and nutritious and healthy. If you can take yourself away from candy and take yourself away from baked goods and away from sweets and away from like high calorie, fatty, salty things as well, I feel like you can spend some time kind of letting your nose and your tongue guide you and finding foods that are really nourishing and nutritious and good. I know in my own experience, I've got a whole new wealth of appreciation for stuff like sweet potatoes and the rich flavors of sweet potatoes that I gained when I started eating more simply, eating less salt, eating less sugar, eating less meat, honestly, because meat is very flavorful, you know? Um, and I think that if I pay attention to it, I find myself pretty having a bit of a vague aversion to lots of foods that on the surface would be fine, but under the surface wouldn't be great for my gut health or for my overall well-being. I think that those vague aversions, if you're well attuned to your body, are absolutely something that you should pay attention to. And similarly, cravings, like vague cravings or needs or desires for things, are something that you should pay attention to. Like a little bit ago, maybe a week or two, I started having really strong cravings for fish, and I realized that my overall diet is pretty lacking in omega 3s. So I got some sardines, and I ate some sardines, and I haven't been craving fish anymore. Your body can guide you. It's just really hard when there are so many things trying to like misguide and rechannel those impulses into the fastest, most accessible, most highly palatable, most addictive, most profitable food products. I like this idea. It's a new layer to like understanding people's aversions to eating monsters and also what you might gain from overcoming them. It's cool. Ow. But what did you do before when you were served food you didn't like? She gave it to Tade. Tade, you can have this. It never happened. Yeah, okay. So we transfer, and it's blizzarding. It's blizzarding bad. Let's make something. You can't afford to be a picky eater. You should get used to it quick. No! I only eat what I want to eat. Listen, it doesn't turn you into one. And he makes the whole logical case. Food and nutrition are more complex. That's why we work hard. And the response is no. Doesn't land. Not even a little bit. Nothing's ever turned into a sheep. And then, of course. Okay, so I gotta look it up. A baromets. The vegetable lamb as lamb of Tartary, a legendary zoophyte of Central Asia believed to grow sheep as its fruit. It was believed that the sheep were connected to the plant by an umbilical cord and grazed the land around the plant. When all the accessible foliage was gone, both the plant and the sheep died. That's crazy. Underlying the legend is the cotton plant, which those stupid-ass Northern Europeans didn't know existed. And it turned into the rumors of sheep growing from trees. That's amazing. Why did it have to show up now and ruin my argument? Listen, that's just a plant that turns into sheeps. I'm sick of your bullshit. I know the truth. I'm gonna go get that sheep. They do attract carnivores, and carnivores are here. Shit, man. So then she just walks off and leaves Laios to the problem. Runs into a random cave on her own, totally happy-go-lucky, and Marcel chases after her. You're just going off on your own because you don't like dogs? I left it for you guys to deal with. Isn't that how friendship works? It's like, okay. Like, you get it, but that's not how it works, actually. The whole point is that we all pull our own weight. Friends are supposed to make up for each other. It's not quite what we meant, right? Okay, I'm strongly reminded of one of the very early episodes in Avatar The Last Airbender when we integrate Toph into the party. Toph Beifong is very, like, kind of self-centered, very independent, as a response to the forced dependence on the parental family situation that she's had to deal with. Very much, I'm going to go my own way, do my own thing, not worry about you, and I'm going to carry my own weight. So it keeps happening when they set up camp for the day that Katara is trying to set up camp for everybody, and there are lots of tasks that need to be done for everybody in the camp to have a good camp and survive the night. And Toph just uses earthbending to create her own little tent shelter and sit in her little tent shelter. And she's like, I'm chilling. I'm carrying my own weight. I took my stuff off of Appa. I put it in my tent. I made myself some shelter. Get fucked. Have fun. You can carry your own weight too. This is what being a team is, right? I carry my own weight. You carry your own weight. We don't talk to each other. That's teamwork. Teamwork, making the dream work. It's like, well, no, that's not quite what we meant, Toph. The reason that we work as a team is because we all carry a little bit of each other's weight. We all work together. But making that explicit and turning it into words and actually expressing it to somebody in a way that's convincing, that's tough. That's not quite what we meant. So, what did you mean? You didn't fight the golem with me. You left that to me. Well, yeah, but that was, we didn't, like, choose to. It was just the way it turned out. Like, it made sense. Yeah, okay. Falls really flat, right? Let's turn back. Nah, I don't want to. And internally, Izutsumi's going, I'm catching a whiff of fire. I can make my way back. I've got all this. I've got like an internal map of stuff that Marcel can't see. And Izutsumi has no inclination to share that information, to be like, no, I don't need to turn back. I'm following the scent of smoke. There's something interesting down here. Let's go. Not there. Are you going the right way? How do you know? I don't need to share that information with you. I go my own way. Okay, so you're just going to leave me here? And it's even turned all the way around onto Marcel. I'm going to do what I want, and that's right, and you should do it too. You're making all these weird, independent, personal sacrifices that you don't have to make in order to adventure with this party and eat monsters and stuff. Why? That's stupid. Stop doing that. Walk away. Why? Why? It's as though in someone like Izutsumi's mind, it's like, in order to have relationship, I must sacrifice some things about myself. That's not doable, and relationships aren't worth it anyway, so I'm never going to do that. Why would I give up something in order to be in a relationship, especially when a relationship has only ever brought me pain? That's the understanding or vibe that I get. While we have some connections between Izutsumi and like Tade a little bit, they've never been deep connections. They've never been valuable. So why would you ever trade anything else or sacrifice anything else for something worthless? You wouldn't. I take the path I want. Why don't you do as you like more? You should do what I do. You hate eating monsters and you still do it. It doesn't make any sense. Well, the wolves have come. She's trying to like, we can do this. We can work together. We can We can do it. And she's thinking it through, and Izumi's just gone. I'll just run and shake them off. I don't need to worry about you. Right? Like, doesn't even think that Marcial's in the way. What? There's the boom. And it reminds her of the snow falling. You made Tade do this. And she actually didn't, which is quite interesting. But this shows us this dynamic where people blame Izumi for, you're the manipulator. You do these things. Why did you do that? I didn't ask you to do that. She can't even remember what she said that day until later, which ends up being really poignant. But adventuring forward, she gets caught by the unseen and finds herself stuck and trapped down here with monsters and really, really screwed if there weren't help. But there is help because Marcial still came, because Marcial does things for other people. Even if it means a sacrifice, because there's more to it. There's more to it. She understands the value of team, yeah? So, a brutal takedown, a broken arm, and a conversation. You ask me why I do it, and she actually spends some time thinking about it. This is similar to what I said before about like not getting amped up about something when somebody criticizes something that you've been doing. Marcial lays it out this way. I have goals and objectives. I want to help my friend and learn more about magic. Sometimes on my path to those goals, I come across something that's tough. Whether it's a literal wall or a dragon, or the need to eat and sleep when all I want to do is move on forward, or the need to eat things that I might not want to, or the need to cast spells that might be dangerous, or the need to go places that I wouldn't want to go, or the need to travel with people that I otherwise wouldn't travel with. I encounter things I dislike, things that are bothersome, tire me. Individually, none of it's a big deal. And it wouldn't be a big deal individually if I said no to any of those individual things. But if I build that as my pattern, if I avoid everything I dislike, if I let my life be ruled by the things I don't like, I'll stray further and further from my path. Because the goal is straightforward. It's right here. And there are just problems in the way of it. And to get around each of those problems, I have to go a little bit out of my way, and a little bit further out of my way, and a little bit further out of my way. And at some point, I might not remember where the way is. Or I might waste enough time avoiding obstacles that I never make it there. Marcial is talking about the ability to experience discomfort intentionally in order to accomplish the things that you intend. Worthwhile things require effort. Effort is work, effort is struggle, effort is changing things, effort is pain, effort is tough, effort is suffering. That takes doing, that takes overcoming. I think the more capable a person is of sitting with intentional discomfort, the more capable they will be of reaching whatever goal they set themselves toward. Period. Period. If every goal that's worthwhile requires some level of discomfort, okay, you want to have a good relationship, like you want to have a good romantic relationship that lasts more than the like 10-year average or whatever the fuck the average is that people get divorced at these days. That's going to take some doing. That's going to take some sacrifice. That's going to take some changing who you are and how you interact with the rest of the world. It's not going to drop into your lap. You want to be wealthy or at least survivable, right? Like have a level of income and property that makes it possible for you to survive. That's going to take some doing. That's going to take some sacrifice. That's going to take some not sitting in your room playing video games and masturbating, right? You have to sacrifice that person to become a different person. And that takes pain and struggle and suffering. And you have to be able to choose it. You have to be able to choose it over and over and over and over and over. And you can trick yourself to some extent into choosing it by giving yourself a lollipop at the end. Give yourself a lollipop at the end. Do the thing that you were trying to do, and then you can play the video games and masturbate. It's fine. It's chill. Like, balance in all things. Neat. You can trick it. You can play with it. But if you just avoid the difficult things, if you just choose the easiest path, you're not in control of your life. You are a deterministic pinball bouncing off of every bad opportunity and thing that's hard and not worth it and too scary, and you'd have to move and you'd be uncertain and it wouldn't be obvious. So do the easy thing and do nothing. Do the easy thing and stay in a relationship you hate. Do the easy thing and don't try to improve. Don't try to grow. Stray a little further until you forget that you were on a path in the first place and tell yourself it's all okay. Because it doesn't matter anyway. But it mattered to you at the beginning, and then you decided that something else mattered more. Does avoiding discomfort matter more than getting fallen back? No. So Marcille takes the discomfort. Does avoiding pain matter more than growing in her, like, the way that she's called to grow into magic? No. She's called to that and she's chosen it. And part of choosing it means taking the struggles that come with it. You can choose the pain of going and exercising, or you can choose the pain of not being able to walk when you're 60. Your choice. You can choose the pain of eating your vegetables, or you can choose the pain of dying 20 years early. Your choice. Eat your broccoli. You can choose the pain of avoiding your potential addictions, or you can choose the pain of becoming an addict and having to deal with the toll that that takes on your psychology and body. Your choice. The more you are capable of choosing and experiencing pain and suffering, the more capable you will be of achieving your goals, period. Because all of those goals require sacrifice, and sacrifice is pain. Just like what's happening to us now. Why did you come along with us? Because there's a chance he might be able to break the curse. Exactly. That's why you need to be able to take a few shortcuts. And we make it. How y'all doing? Absurd and arm broken, and then a Snapple crackle. Ugh, poor thing. And then we cook a weird sheep fetus. It's so strange. It is actually growing meat. It looks delicious. I would eat it happily. Looks like lamb. It's got weird stuff in it, but it's delicious. Apparently they taste like crab, which is super weird. I never knew food this amazing existed. Perhaps it's not dumb. Tade just wants to be helpful to everyone. That's dumb. We also get all these good things, and I kind of want to, like, make sure that I'm pulling my weight and showing that, like, performing that for everybody else. But also, sometimes they give me some yummy snacks. Asebi, don't lose your way just because something is a bit bothersome. Looking back over my life, I can think of, like, immediately a couple dozen things that I avoided because they would have been troublesome, that would have probably benefited me a lot. I didn't pay as much attention in some of the great education that I experienced. I didn't focus on it as well as I could have, and I could have made a lot more of myself moving forward into the future if I had been able to suffer not playing video games all night, every night for a little while. But over a slow deflection, a slow straying away from my path, I became addicted to them. I wove them into me, and I wove into me the tendency to avoid the difficult thing and to do the easy thing instead. And uh, I've had to do a lot of work for a lot of years to rebuild even a fraction of the capacity to do things with intent that I would have had if I had never lost it. So this feels very real to me, that you can lose your way because something is bothersome. And our show implores us not to do that. To eat our vegetables, to understand our friends, and to move toward our goals, even if it's not obvious that they're better for us. And maybe there will be yummy snacks along the way. Sometimes you do end up with something tasty out of it after all. Ah, and everybody. Izutsumi is such a great character to bring into this and shake things up. What a wonder. What a wonder. What a wonderful piece of storytelling. This introduction of the character and like integration with the party has surfaced a bunch of really important ideas. I like it. I'm really excited for how wholesome it's gonna be to see Izutsumi like get friends and come out of this shell, this sort of like sort of shell. It's like watching a rescue cat sort of warm up and choose a place as home and become free a little bit. It's really cool. I'm gonna pull up Sakagaburu, just take a glance, see if there are any interesting cuts that I want to look at. A couple during the Goliath fight were pretty interesting, and there are some cool facial expressions. So let's see. Okay, there's a few. Bink, bonk, bink, bonk. Ow. Wolfy stuff and Wolfy fight. I do think this moment when she like jumps on the wolf and is sort of back and forth, is pretty cool. Gollum going Gollumy and Izutsumi doing flips. This is a pretty cool scene. I think it feels really good throughout, even if it's not terribly like overly impressive, you know? That is a great great voice. Great mouth and speaking. Yeah. And then we get the arrow flying. Choo! Ping! Fumika Ito on the food. Food is bubbling. Food is stirring. Food is yummy. Oh, that's got some crazy smears on it. Whoa! Whoa, look at those. Those are crazy looking. Boom! Hai Chuan Zhang, confirmed privately. This is the character acting here. And Izutsumi's character acting and facial expressions are really crisp during this one and kind of silly. Ah, cool. And Shoya Sakaguchi and Shun Murata for this final sequence here. So it's start to 8 seconds is all Shun Murata with this running up and then a little shakety shake on the background. That's really cool how the background whoop, whoop, whoop. And then up through, up over the fist. Big spiral in the air, spin, spin, and now it's not Shun Murata anymore. Ksh, ksh, bing, and that's Shoya Sakaguchi. Cool. And those are our cuts for the day. What a lovely episode. What a lovely introduction to our newest party member. And like an interesting dive into some core thematic stuff that's now been surfaced and turned into text. When it was subtext before, now it's text. And Izutsumi kind of forces it to become text by making us speak about the unspoken, making us actually explain the things that we have as intuitions or like under the surface understandings. It's cool. I'm really excited to see it evolve from here next time on Dungeon Meshi. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you next week for the next episode. Much love. Peace.